Hello YouTube, and welcome to my third Lightroom tutorial. Today I'm going to talk about how to use shortcuts in Lightroom that can substantially make your work in Lightroom much quicker and easier and more effective. The first thing you normally arrive at when you open Lightroom is the grid view. To get to that grid view, you just press the G key. Now in this case, nothing is going to happen because we're already in the grid view. The other modules in Lightroom that you would normally be using are the development view and the Enlarge or Loupe view. And respectively, you can get into the Enlarge view or Loupe view with the E key, like this. And the picture you have selected before in the grid view is going to be enlarged. You can get back to the grid view by pressing the G key. To get to the development section, you would have guessed you press just the D key, like delta, and the development section or the development module in Lightroom would open. And back to the grid view with the G key, like golf. So one of the issues you normally have on a laptop that would be much smaller than the big screen that I'm using right now is that you only have limited real estate on your monitor to display the grid view and the pictures. What you can then very easily do is use the tab key to get rid of the sidebars, and you can press the tab key again to make them reappear. You can go even one step further because you still have the top and the bottom grid view at the bottom, and on the top the menu with the sections. When you press Shift Tab, all those bars will disappear, and likewise when you press Shift Tab again, all of those bars will appear back into the picture. One of the things that you can now do, because there is no shortcut to just get rid of the top and the bottom bar, it would be function keys, but I can hardly remember them, and I also only want to go through those shortcuts that you can easily remember and that you would probably use most often. But you can very easily use your mouse and go to the top and click on that little triangle, and the top menu would disappear. And the same is true for the bottom. And you just, in this case, you can even just click at the very bottom of the page anywhere. The same you can do with the mouse, of course, with the sidebars. You just go to the very left on the sidebar and click, and just that sidebar, the left one in this case, would disappear. And you click again, it would reappear. The same is going to happen on the right-hand side, which is quite normal. One of the things that you can use in the grid view is to get either rid of or show the menu bar of Lightroom by pressing Shift F. If you continue to press it, you basically cycle through the views with the menu bar, without the menu bar, so that would be a full screen mode, and even with the Windows bar that would normally appear or disappear. I usually work without any of those menus. You can, with the mouse, even temporarily get back to the top menu just by going to the very top of the window with your mouse. Another nice feature is if you're in the grid view and you have selected one of the pictures and you press the F key like Foxtrot, you get into a full screen view just for that one picture. And if you press F again, it will go back to the grid view. One very nice feature that I only found out recently, normally if you go through all your pictures and you've selected the ones that you want to keep and used filters, if you press CTRL-L like Lima, you can either enable or disable the filter. And you will see in the top bar which filter you have selected before. I basically selected the filter to just show me the pictures that I have picked or flagged. And if you press the L key again, the filter will be disabled. One of the things that sometimes I find very confusing, or not confusing, but irritating, if you have, for whatever reason, selected more than one picture and would, for instance, just try to, and you're in the Loupe view, for instance, and you would use things like export picture. What it would then do is it would export 3 pictures, although you're just in this one picture. So from time to time, what I used to do is just press CTRL-D, like deselect, like delta. And it deselects all the pictures you have previously selected. Likewise, of course, that's what everybody knows is CTRL-A, and that would select all the pictures. And CTRL-D again to deselect the pictures. One other nice feature that's available in the grid view and in any other view is the compare feature. The shortcut for that would be C, like Caesar. And you need to select the pictures you really want to compare and then press C. And you have both pictures right next to each other. The way then to decide which one to keep and to continue editing, you can use the down arrow key to switch between the selected picture, in this case on the left-hand side, and the candidate. So press the down arrow key and it will switch between selected and candidate, like this. Now let's move to the next section that I want to go through and explain some of the shortcuts, and it would be the Loupe view, or how you could call it, the Enlarge view, because it's easier to remember the shortcut, which would be E, like echo. So we have selected the one on the left-hand side and press E for Enlarge, and we are in the Loupe view. When you go through your pictures and you're trying to select which pictures to keep for further editing and which ones to dismiss, there are 3 shortcuts that you would very frequently be using, and that is P for pick, U for unpick, and X for reject. So you basically press the P key to select a picture that you then could select via the filter if you are in the grid view, like I've shown you just before. If you reconsider your decision, like in this case, and you want to unflag the picture or unpick the picture, then just press the U key, like uniform, and it would remove the flag. If you think the picture is really not worth editing and even worth rejecting and dismissing, press the X key and the picture would be rejected. What you then can do in the grid view or in any other view is go back to the grid view, like G, and in the filter, again, CTRL-L for the filter. Now we have only selected the picked or the flagged pictures. If you want to select the ones that you have rejected, go with the mouse key to the top of the filter menu and select the rejected pictures and deselect the flagged ones. And now you have only those pictures that you have actually rejected with the X shortcut. And you can either delete them or keep them. I never really delete any pictures. I rather just reject them and then just don't show them going through the filter option in my grid view, in my catalog, because I'm very hesitant of losing pictures indefinitely, because sometimes you really reconsider your decision, and then you're happy and glad when you still have the pictures on your hard drive. So let me just go back to the ones that I have flagged, like this. Another way to categorizing your pictures would be to use color labels and ratings. For ratings, it's very easy to achieve and very easy to comprehend. You select the picture you want to give a rating to, and you can choose the number keys from 1 to 5 to toggle the rating. So 1 would be 1 star, 2 would be a 2 rating, 3 and 4 and 5, like this. If you want to get rid of it, you just press 0, like this. Another way to label your pictures, which I rarely use or only with one color, and in my case it would be red, but you can use any other color, to really select the final pictures you want to, for instance, publish, or at least consider for publishing or any other purpose, is the color label. The way to do that, there are shortcuts. You would start with the number key 6 and it would go up to 9, but I can never really remember which color is behind which number key. So I really use the right mouse click, and then go on Set Color Label and set the color. So again, although there is a shortcut on your keyboard with the number keys from 6 to 9, I never really do that, but you may want to do that. So I think 9 is even a red label. No, it's blue. See, I rather do that with the right mouse key, the right mouse click on red, like this. Another useful shortcut is the I key. If you go into the Loupe view by pressing E, and you press the I key, you can toggle through the information of your image, including the size of your picture, the date when you've taken it, and the time, and of course the file name. If you press I one more time, you get to see some of the EXIF data, like the exposure setting and your aperture and your sensitivity, your ISO, and the lens you have been using. Now, you get all that information also on the right-hand column over here. But sometimes it's really, if you go through many pictures and you just browse through them like this, it's sometimes more helpful to have the information directly in the picture. If you're done doing that, you can press the I key again and the information is gone. Next, we're going to look at the development section that you can go to with the D, like delta key. And I mean, you are familiar with the module itself, and you are probably also familiar with most of the tools you can use in the development section. So I'm just going to tell you some of the shortcuts to get to those tools. One of the tools we had been discussing in my last tutorial was actually the radial filter that you can get or activate with Shift M, like mic, Shift mic. You can also use your mouse, but the shortcut would be Shift M. If you press Shift M again, it would deactivate that specific tool. The brush, the adjustment brush, you can use with K, like kilo. We've seen that last time in my last tutorial as well. K, like kilo, for the adjustment brush. And you can press K again, and it's gone. Another useful tool is the crop tool that you can get to with R, like Romeo. And you can change the crop of your picture. You're probably familiar with the crop tool, so I'm not going to explain the tool in itself. And you can press R again to deactivate it. If you want to like activate the crop you've set, you need to press Enter, and that's the same for all the other tools if you want to actually activate what you've done. Another tool is the spot removal tool, where you get to with Q, like Quebec. And then you can, it's mostly relevant for portraits, for instance, where you can remove some of the wrinkles or even some of the freckles in the faces of your portraits, but there it's very useful. So again, Q for the spot removal tool. Another useful shortcut is the Y key, like Yankee, where you can basically show a before and after view. So on the left-hand side, you have the picture as it is unedited with no edits done to it whatsoever. And on the right-hand side, you then always have the edited version of the picture. You can change the view of that compare or before and after view with Shift Y, Shift Yankee, and then you can divide the actual picture into two parts, before and after. If you press the Y key again, it's the final picture you have done. Another very useful feature is if you're using some of the local adjustments like the radial filter, and just let me go into the radial filter with Shift M one more time, is you can either show or unshow or hide the little pins that you can then enable to do further adjustments by pressing the H key, like this, H, like hotel. You can hide or unhide them with the H key. Another very useful thing you can use is the J key to actually show the clippings in your picture. I mean, there are two ways of doing it. Either you can click on those little triangles in the upper right corner and in the right column of your development section, and you can temporarily show the highlight clippings or the shadow clippings, or you can press J like Juliet on the keyboard, and it will permanently show all of the highlight and shadow clippings in your picture, which I found very useful. And finally, there are two more things I want to show you. One is the Z shortcut that zooms into your image. And what you can then do, because then of course the hand tool will disappear, you can press the spacebar and the hand tool will disappear, and you can move your image around like this. And then of course when you press the Z key again, it will zoom back out. With that, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I also hope you found it useful. I hope I could explain some of the shortcuts that you didn't even know before. These are just the ones that I regularly use. This is really not a complete list of shortcuts. I will put the shortcuts I've been using in this tutorial in the description below the video for your reference. If you have any other suggestions what shortcuts are very useful, please let me know in the comments. And otherwise, the same goes for any suggestions and recommendations for this video, but also what you would like to see in the future. Please leave your comment, rate the video, thumbs up or thumbs down, as you wish. If you would like to see more of my videos, then press the subscribe button. Thank you and have a nice day.